Hello my lovely viewers, and welcome back to America What the Heck. I'd like to apologize for a couple things, one being my delayed response in all my videos. I haven't made any videos recently because of work. As soon as I got back from the States, pretty much I had a couple days off and then I had to go straight to work. So it was a little busy, a little stressful, I'll admit, but I'm okay now. I've got this all figured out and I have some free time because today is one of my days off, which is awesome. So I get to talk to you guys for a little bit before I go and hang out with my brothers, which comes to my second point of what I'm sorry for. I apologize for my appearance. I know usually I try to dress up, I look a little bit nicer, but I'm gonna go hang out with my big brothers today, so I decided no, I'm not gonna look really nice because they're just gonna tease me and annoy me and whatever. So third point, sometimes this little fluff will come over and she will hit my camera, so I apologize for that. I've been trying to record this video for a while and she kept coming in and marking the camera. Okay, and third point, you've realized I've moved my room around. Yeah, and I have balloons because I want to. Yeah, someone gave me them. Anyways, this video is gonna be a little shorter than usual because like I said, I've been so busy I haven't been able to collect a lot of information about things I want to talk about, and I apologize for that, and I'm assuring you right now I will have more information and I will talk about more things later on. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit. So, first things first, I'm gonna talk to you about something that I heard about 3 weeks ago, oopsies, when I was in London. So the London Underground has a lot of paper. Could you stop? A lot of paper that come by, and a lot of them are free, which is really nice. So you can learn about all the news, all the tabloid stuff that's going on. And I picked up one that really caught my eye. It was about the Queen and her comment about how rude the Chinese diplomat was. So I thought, oh, that's really interesting, because in England, in the entire UK, United Kingdom, the Queen doesn't actually have a lot of political power. She's more of just a figurehead. However, as a figurehead, she has a lot of power in influencing how the country, and well, the United Kingdom, is seen. So she might be meeting with people who are, either other foreign diplomats or, other foreign leaders of countries that might come and visit her, or she might go and visit them. Now, I thought that when I read this, I was like, oh, maybe she just didn't understand the custom. But then I thought, oh, no, wait. She's met Chinese diplomats before. So, and Chinese ambassadors. So why did she think this one was so rude? I thought that was really interesting. Now, like I said, the Queen doesn't have a lot of political power. In fact, the majority of the political power, pretty much all of it actually, rests in the hands of the Parliament. Now, the Parliament is made up of the House of Lords and the House of Commons. When I was in London, I was able to go and sit in on a session of the House of Commons, and it was amazing. I could have sat there for hours if they let me, but they didn't. And when I was sitting there listening to everything that was going on, I couldn't refrain from remarking to myself, I really wish that Congress would let us do this. And I do not believe that they allow us to go in. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that, but I don't think the Congress in the United States allows normal citizens like me to go in and sit there and go, interesting. So that's what's really going on. I mean, we were able to see broadcasts and stuff like that. Like, we got to see the one filibuster where a person, I can't remember which senator it was, a congressman came up and read Dr. Seuss for hours, which was remarkable that he was able to do that, for one thing, but it was just kind of ridiculous in my mind. And besides that point, I thought it was really interesting, and I really wish that we could do that. When I was in Berlin, actually, they do something similar as well, and they encourage people to come in and watch the proceedings of their government. It's quite fascinating. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting how the Queen was, it was, oh my goodness, the Queen said that they were so rude. I thought it was actually really funny. Now, my second little thing I'm going to remark on is there's this recent newspaper discussed oyster populations. So I am a science geek, a nerd. I admit it. I want to be a marine biologist. Well, my little children. They discuss this entire story about how certain scientists are trying to work on manipulating the genes of oysters so that they are immune to certain diseases and certain creatures that will try to attack them. It's mainly diseases, but there's a place in Virginia and Maryland. It's called the Chesapeake Bay, and it's beautiful. And the way it was before, when Captain John Smith came over to the Americas, he described it like as pretty much crystal clear waters. Now, if you look in the bay today, it is not crystal clear. Oh no, it has a lot of sediment in it. It looks really murky, and it doesn't quite look that appealing, but apparently hundreds of years ago it looked beautiful. See, the issue is we just used up all the oysters. Oysters are good, they're really tasty, but people over harvested them, and then there became this huge decline in oyster populations, which meant that the waters became more silty, more murky, and because oysters filter the water. When they are searching for, not searching, but when they're searching the water essentially for phytoplankton, just plankton, they filter the water as they do this. See, oysters, they just kind of sit together in clusters. They don't move. The only time they really move is when they're spat or babies, to try to find a spot, and that's it. So they just sit there and they filter the water through. See, because humans really, really like oysters, and like I said, they're good to eat. Those oysters and mussels are really good to eat, and they're actually probably really good for you as well. The issue is you really need to have them in the water. There's actually this really nice picture that depicts the difference between water with oysters and water without oysters. Now, the water with oysters is sitting here. It's a little tank. It's kind of murky and kind of gross looking water, but it's actually really rather clean. Kind of like the Thames, which is just so murky because of all the sediment that's being mixed up with all the waves. Now, in the tank with just regular oysters, it was almost clear water. Like, it was a little murky. Yeah, okay, it's still gonna be a little murky because there's not a lot of oysters in it, but it was cleaner versus the other one. Now, I've actually been personally involved in a project that helps restore oyster populations, and I loved it. I wish I could do more, but that was several years ago when I was in high school. So hearing about this again made me super excited because they're figuring out how to manipulate the genes of these oysters so that they can become immune to these horrible diseases that are being brought over by either species that are coming in, invasive species, or by humans accidentally introducing things because we're stupid and we decide to bring in, lionfish. We decided to bring in all these crazy creatures from different seas and different parts of the ocean and plop them into our ocean where we're bored of them and we can't have them in our aquariums anymore. And honestly, there are certain parts in the Caribbean where lionfish are hunted, and divers go in, like when they're going out for their little expedition. Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna go scuba diving, which is a lot of fun. If you are ever able to go scuba diving, I highly, highly recommend it because it is amazing. You go into a different world, and yet it's your own world. It's on Earth, but it's like an entirely different planet. It's amazing. Back to my point though. These diving teams, they go in and they're given a spear. So if you find any lionfish, you spear it. And lionfish are actually really, really rather mean. They don't really care about people. Like, if you swim up to them, they're not going to do anything unless you touch them. Then you're going to get poisoned. And yeah, it's not a fun experience. But these divers are given these spears. They can spear them. And actually, cooks will go and they will cook them up and make them into meals, which apparently I have not tried it, but lionfish are rather tasty if cooked correctly. And I've heard, I'm not entirely sure, that but the poison from their spikes, it deteriorates or is kind of like flushed out within an hour after their death. So the poison isn't in their bodies anymore. So you technically couldn't get poisoned unless your cook caught it like that, put it in the pan, and cooked it with the poison, which would be rather terrifying, and I have a feeling someone probably accidentally did that once. But anyways, bringing it back to the oysters. So I kind of went off rambling about lionfish. They're really interesting. Quite fascinating creatures. Anyways, I'm so excited that people are bringing more attention to the oyster population, because as I found with my research, as the oyster population decreases, so do all the populations of other places, of other species. See, in the ocean, if the water is hotter, it actually can't retain as much oxygen. But if the water is colder, it can retain more oxygen. And these oysters going in and filtering everything out helps with regulating temperature as well, because then they don't have to worry about, oh, it's really silty, it's really full of a whole bunch of sediments and nitrates and things from, well, feces, from other creatures. It's a wonderful thing. Oysters are great. I really like them, and I've gone on a tyrant for about 5 minutes now about oysters. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I apologize if you think I'm a complete nerd and you don't want to watch me anymore. Sorry. But I just want to talk to you guys about oysters and about the interesting fact about the Queen and how of England, sorry, the entire United Kingdom, and discuss how interesting I thought that was and how I wish that our own government would actually let us go and sit in on things. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and yeah, hell yeah.